Hello there. If you're watching this, it's the VOD, and that means that you didn't catch a stream that I did at 4 PM on a Thursday. What, do you have a job or something? Anyway, I'll be faffing about a little bit at the start, so as always with VODs, I'll try and put timestamps in the What's It My Bob. You might find that it's helpful to use those. Or just listen to me faff about. It's entirely up to you. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to go live on Twitch. And I should be live on Twitch. Good. So now I actually prepared a ping to send out, so I just need to copy and paste that into stream pings at everyone. Boop. And I should post it in the hardware bot server as well, I guess. It's not really an overclocking stream. I'm not going to overclock anything. I'll leave it. I won't post it in hardware bot. Right. Well, I guess I'll give it, a minute or two to see if anybody shows up and says hi. I don't know if anyone will or not. I'm going to try and get the VOD actually out there as soon as I can. Hey Crispy, let's see those sticks cook. Oh, I hope not. No plans to cook anything, but we'll see if they've worked. Right. So, backstory. I saw an eBay listing the other day for Corsair Dominator 2000C7 hypers, and it was one dead stick, one working, which is standard for hypers. And the eBay listing was I think it's actually £22 posted. So I bought it on the spot, as one does. They're probably going to get forwarded off to someone else fairly soon. And then they were posted with Hermes, which is always a worry. If you're not British, Hermes as a courier does not have a good reputation. However, it's a sturdy box. It's a reasonably big box, so there's plenty of room for them to have been packed well. The courier actually, it's funny, I set out some beanbags and stuff under the letterbox in case it went through the letterbox, just to sort of catch it. But the courier actually just rang the doorbell and handed it to me. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they've survived. Hermes have a bit of a reputation for just kind of like throwing things into the vans. Anywho. So I've censored the label, but there's probably an eBay packing slip inside that I'll have to worry about. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's why I've got the camera at quite a low angle. It's so that I can hopefully open the lid of the box out that way and pull the packing slip out without doxing myself. Right, what's going on here? Because that side... Oh no, it does open that side, it's just got a load of tape along it. It made it look as if the cardboard was connected. Alright, so that... Yep, that opens out like that. Are we safe? I think we're safe so far. So we have a piece of Blitz kitchen roll, non-sponsor. So he's packed the fins separately. So there's one set of fins with screws, and there's the other fins. The fins are looking really nice. This is the same kitchen roll that I use. It's good kitchen roll. Again, non-sponsor. And then we've got some foam here. Quite firm foam. It's not packing. No, there's no packing slip underneath that either. So maybe he just hasn't put a packing slip in. So we've got another box in here from, I think, now defunct electrical retailer Maplin. So I'll see if I can get the tape off that. I'm going to have a bit of a peek in there as well, just to check for danger. Once we've got that off. Yes, Hyper's notorious, of course, for dying in transit. Or on the shelf. They never die in use. Only in transit or on the shelf. So I think we're probably okay packing slip wise. I think, yeah. Alright. Alice says didn't realise they were in other European countries as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're all over the place. They're very well known in the UK, and not for good reasons. So we have the RAM itself here in bubble wrap. And then that anti-static in there. What's going on here? A regular old plastic bag. And this is some newspaper, I guess. There's an advert there for the 2021 UK Winnie the Pooh 50p set. Alright. And apparently there is a miracle pill on the way to help save COVID victims. Wonderful. And in amongst our miracle pills we have one stick which is dead as per the listing and as per the post-it, and that is a CL8 stick, not CL7. And then we have one more stick, and that is CL7. So the listing not exactly perfectly accurate, but which newspaper is this? Oh, it's the Sun. Right, okay. Ugh. I need to wash my hands now after handling a copy of the Sun. Right. Well, so I'll put the dead stick to one side, I suppose. I need one moment. I'm just going to go and get an anti-static bubble wrap thing to leave it in, which are out the room and round the corner. So I don't know how well you can hear me, but I'm coming back now. Right. Let's pop those away somewhere. And let's start bringing in the test system, I suppose. So I'm going to test it on FX because that's the test system that I have set up. Is that going to hold? Yep, camera's holding. So same system that I was actually using last stream. That camera angle sucks, doesn't it? Is that alright? Yeah, I feel like that'll do. It's a bit of a cooler white than normal because I've got the camera light on and my tilt is way off. There we are. That's level according to the camera. If the system's not straight, it's just because the system's actually not straight. Right, well, I don't remember what settings the system has dialed in, but I can guarantee you they're not stock, so we'll sort that out next. General personal update. I feel like crap still. This isn't going to be an especially long stream, but I'm just going to knock a couple of things off the list. Just disable the random crap that I don't need. That'll do. Right. Hey Matt, got the CL7 stick, £15. It was £22 total, I think. But yes, that was me. I did it. It set off like multiple of my saved searches. Crispy says, damn Mick, you've been down for a bit, perhaps a bit of a vacation's in order. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not actually sure what's up with it. I am fully vaccinated, and I've had a couple of lateral flow tests across the last little while. But I've just been sort of gradually feeling like, well, my throat's not actively hurting at the moment, but it's like my nose isn't feeling good, my chest's not feeling great, but I can talk fine, and that's important for streaming at least. Matt says, thought you might have received his offer. He offered £15. You counted with £12.50. Are we talking about the same one, the one sold by Genie Ben? Don't overdo it for the sake of some OC. Oh, I won't. I have been overdoing it, just not for the sake of OC. Because I had my car booked in for the timing belt, and that was ages ago that I booked that in. So yeah, lateral flow tests out the wazoo. Very, very aggressive mask. Hand sanitizer everywhere. But yeah, getting that done was tiring. He has a 20. Yeah, I think Genie Ben, he has like a 2400 megahertz kit or something, but it's like £400 he's asking, if I remember rightly. Anyway, let's install our 2200 CL7. Is that actually going to focus at all? Yeah, there we are. Right, and we'll get the fan back on it. I imagine this has been run cold, especially given who it came from. All right, well, we're booting. That's a post. That's a good sign. That's not a good sign. Interesting. Right. I have been told I can actually forward these for the same price that I paid anyway, just because I know someone who wants just the fins. So even if they are dead, I'm not out of pocket, and I won't be returning them. Yeah, so this is definitely running like auto everything. should I disable turbo? Why not? Let's disable turbo. Come on, don't be dead. Okay, now, that's not necessarily a bad sign, because in the midst of my various overclocking that I've been doing, that has come up when I was running unstable memory, so it might be that the backup BIOS actually did get corrupted and that was repairing it, potentially. So I'm not necessarily going to blame the memory for that. Happening twice, on the other hand, that's not so good. That's not so good of a sign. I would call that quite a bad sign, if anything. It shouldn't just keep happening. I'm not confident that this stick is anything other than dead. Yeah. Of all of the boot loops to be stuck in, I think a loop where you overwrite the backup BIOS every single time is not good. Oh no, it's not. It's not on the backup BIOS this time. It's on the something's corrupt. Right. Well, I mean, they are notorious for dying in transit, so here we are. That said, I don't have other Corsair Hypers to compare against, so, you know, I'll approach with an open mind. We'll see if the inner slot's any happier, and I guess I can try giving it 1.65 as well. But this is this kind of instability, this kind of like, you know, you boot it up and then you know, it passes post, but it's just horrendously unstable and unusable past post, is very, very much in keeping with Hyper that has died in transit or on the shelf, sadly. I guess if that has happened, what I'll do is I'll send him a message on eBay, sort of relaying the sad news and giving him some advice. And I'll tell him, you know, don't worry, because I'm actually passing it on anyway, and, you know, the guy doesn't mind that it's dead, but... Deepa says, Hyper. Yeah, exactly. This is about standard. This is what you get. Well, this is just boot looping. Which I suppose is better than BIOS recovery looping, but is still not very good. I'm going to try the inner slot of the outer channel as well. The innermost slot on this board is kind of gummed up with, I can't remember what it was exactly, some kind of like spray-on waterproofing thing. Which it turns out is liable to seep up a memory slot. Deepa says freezer moment. Clean the contacts, freezer. I mean, the thing is, if it needed the contacts cleaning, then, you know, he would have found that out when he was testing it. The seller would have. I don't think they look dirty either. Because I'm not planning to keep it anyway, because I'm passing it on, I suppose there's no harm in just cleaning the contacts. I guess. But it's not going to be the contacts. I can tell you now, it's not going to be the contacts. Not with this behaviour. Right, where was the, where did I leave? There we are. So, the reason I like this brand of kitchen roll is because it's actually very good at not dropping lint. It's not marketed as lint free, but fundamentally it seems to be. Well, to be fair, a decent amount of grime has come off. Slightly less grime has come off now. Even less grime has come off. Deeper is talking about rubbing things because they're dirty, which could be taken in many ways. I think that's a lot better. There's still a teensy tiny bit coming off, so. And that didn't get anything off. Okay. So I'll put that back in the outer slot, which seems to work. Yeah, oh, sorry. It's not made a difference, I'm afraid. As dirty as the contacts were, yeah. Alright. I mean, this is classic dead hyper behaviour, unfortunately. One moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try physically squeezing the stick slightly, just gently with my hands. Nah. Would have been funny if that had worked. I've heard of that working once on a stick that didn't post, and it made it post. Alright. Well, it seems only right that I should try the dead stick as well. I wish I was surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, this is why I don't do hyper, right? Okay. Camera. Yeah, there's a bit to come off the dead stick. The DED stick. Not much. Crispy says, watch this one be alive because it was dirty. Yeah. It wasn't too dirty, but it's worth a go. Or maybe Post has brought it back to life. Yeah, no, that's just not posting. Damn. Alright. Well, I mean, the good news is, um, the person I was going to send them to is in the EU and said to put dead electronics on the import form regardless, which I was probably going to just put obsolete instead because that's true. But they will be. Deepa says, I still don't get how the other stick is dead in posts. I think it's like physical mechanical damage inside the ICs. So during post, I think it's like the interface between the memory and the CPU that's being like tested and trained. But then when it comes to actually using the memory, you have different problems. Like it's hitting it in a way that it's not hit in post at all. Yeah, well. Crispy says, put in a good stick and make sure OS loads. Yeah, sure, why not? It will. I mean, I loaded the OS before I put the hyper in, so it will. I'm just thinking, do I have hyper lying around? Where's my other hyper? There we are. It's not on the same PCB. You're wondering if the bad stick has corrupted the OS now? Yeah, fair enough. Right. And it's loading, no problem. Yeah. Like I said, I wish I was surprised. Right, let's kill that promptly because the heat spreaders on that are not great. Oh, you... Right, okay. I was going to say, it's not internet connected. Alright, well that's part one of the stream done. I'm not going to do any more troubleshooting because I'm going to forward them anyway, so I imagine you might get updates on them from the person I'm forwarding them to. But I don't want to like start messing with them, I guess, because they're going to have their own idea of how to troubleshoot, and I don't want, you know, I don't want to take that away from them. Yeah, well. It's a little bit annoying because I was hoping that I could like negotiate a small amount of like a finder's fee or something. Oh, Crispy's mentioned bumping voltage. I did say try that, didn't I? Yeah, fuck it. It's not as if I've been at this for very long, so... Right. I'm not going to take them above rated voltage, but I'll give them 1.65 and I'll see what happens. 'Cause I did say I'd do that, to be fair. If this actually loads the OS, I'm going to have to kill it and put the fan on though, because I don't want to run them without the fan. Yeah, that's okay. That's not helped. This is a very special kind of dead that is a real risk of, you know, killing the board. So let's not do any more of that. Not that I particularly care about this board, because this is the one that has like a ridiculously low FSB wall for some reason. Could it be a messed up SPD? If it was messed, well, no, I think that would probably just stop it from posting. Talk to Ground about his experiences with Dead Hyper. Because what this is doing is dead on what his experiences have been. Anyway, let's I'll shuffle that over to one side. I'll bring the camera around a bit. Here we go. Is that level? It's level enough. So, part 2 of this stream is having unboxed some dominators, I'm going to unjar some dominators. I've got my jar of dominators there. So I'm going to need a couple of things. What do I need? I need a second jar to decant the white spirit into. So I've got one of those, but it's over the other side of the room, which is why I'm now distant. Hopefully you can still hear me because I'm shouting. And I also need a tray, but not a tray that I ever use for food. That is downstairs. That's not so easy to fetch, so I probably should have done that in prep. I will be back shortly. That was the wrong scene. Right. Okie dokie. And then the other thing I'll need is pliers. But that I have. So, believe it or not, I don't use this tray for food. Say what you will about English cooking, but it's not quite that bad. It was downstairs because the last thing I used it for was defrosting the freezer to catch drips. So, ooh, I also need some tea towels. Oh, yeah. Kitchen roll. I'll put kitchen roll on the tray. And then I have somewhere that I feel okay putting the sticks down. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So, supposedly, I mean, this is white spirit they've been soaking in, so it should have softened the glue, but whether it actually has or not remains to be seen. I'm not really sure how to go about this. I guess... Oh, do I need to update my title? I'll update my title and that'll give me a convenient break to think about it. Right. Okay, so yeah, I think it's going to be a case of tipping them out. I'm very glad that I've got the tray right now. I don't know what white spirit would do to this table, but it wouldn't be good. So I was told that it would make the heat sinks just sort of come off under gravity. And I can conclusively say they're not. I could just take them out with pliers, but the thing is, if I pinch in the wrong place with pliers and I apply force, it's going to lift the ICs, because the ICs are right down there. And I don't want to run the risk. I don't want to put it in my own hands. I'm trying to gently tap it. That's not coming loose at all. Crispy's saying it needs agitation, heat, or both. Maybe. Maybe. Whatever it needs, this isn't it, clearly. I'm going to have to check with the people who have done it before and have been successful. I suspect it might need a different solvent, if I'm completely honest. Right. Well, those heat sinks are not coming off, realistically. Is there a bit of play in that? Oh, okay, no. There's a bit of play in this. This one has started to shift. The heatsink has successfully detached from all 4 ICs on this side. That's interesting. So it is capable of working. Right. But that's all it's detached from. You're probably right then, Crispy. It probably does need agitation or heat or both in the jar. Is it really going to get stuck there? Come on. Get in there. Oh no, hold on. This jar's slightly shorter than the other one. Is it? Yeah, it is. Back in the first jar you go. But yeah, you are correct. So, was I accidentally leaning the jar on that? Goodness. Hopefully that's not done any damage. Alright, well, let's now come on. It went in once. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, given that that worked, there's something else I want to try. I'm going to have to like shake the jar or something. But I have some other Corsair sticks that I want to know the ICs on. Swirl it, you say? Yeah. It's... What people have talked about working is soaking. But clearly it's going to need agitation, but I'm not expecting it to work immediately. I don't think any effect is going to be had in a reasonable length of time for a stream. But before I finish up, I have this shit. If you're in my Discord server, you might have seen the video I made about this. It's crap. And the ICs, I think you can actually see that. They don't have the white stripe that BBSE is supposed to have, despite being version 2.2, which should be BBSE. So I think they might be BBBG. Only one way to find out. That's very full now. Hopefully that's okay. You know what, I'm gonna... That's gone terribly. Okay, that's fine. There we are. Seal that back up. My hands are covered in white spirit again. Alright. Deepa says you make me want to crack open some dims. I mean, wait until it works. If it works, sure. But I wouldn't do it on the basis of something that doesn't even work. What it's going to be is it's going to be a case of kind of coming back to this every so often and giving it a bit of a shake, I think. The curve of the jar is playing tricks on me. It's making me think that the XMS3 sticks are already detaching. But I don't think they are. Well, maybe. Let's give it a poke. Why not? No, they're not. They're not. Alright. Yeah, when I first got liquid nitrogen in, because you can often use liquid nitrogen to remove heat sinks, not Corsair ones, not ones that are epoxied like Corsair, but like other heat sinks. I just was running around like LN2ing off everything, just like you know, decap all the things, and I kind of regret it because I don't think it like was useful. I think that there's two valid reasons to remove the heat sinks from memory. Well, no, one, because I was going to say one valid reason is if you have a reason, which is recursive. That doesn't make sense. But like, you can either do it because you've got like a valid reason, like, you know, you want to check the IC, or, you know, you need to put spreaders on for LN2 or whatever. Or you can do it because it's crap memory but you want to practice. Those are the two options. Oh, scavenging heat sinks as well, yeah. Okay. So LN2 spreaders, scavenging heat sinks, checking IC, practice are all valid reasons. Or you have DDR5 and you want to beat the shit out of it. Like what, just like with a hammer? I mean, I guess from what I've heard of DDR5, that does sound about right. Deepa says, sign me in for the hammer. So, what, alongside the DDR5? You're going to find out. Fair enough. Well, good luck. I think that's everything. Those are the two things that I sort of needed to get done and wanted to do on stream. Obviously I've got a load of white spirit to clean up. But yeah, so I'm almost down for some sledgehammer action. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap up now. Thanks for popping by and watch things not go well, I guess. I will try and do a real stream at some point where I do some overclocking, rather than a stream where I swap some white spirit between jars and poke things. Discord, yeah, I should. If you want to be pinged when I stream, or you want to know what I'm planning to stream, there's a Discord. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This has been a very short one. I'm going to try and shut up now because I'm just making the VOD longer and longer and longer. Yeah, cheers, goodbye.